The federal government and major stakeholders in Nigeria's housing industry have again canvassed the increasing need to provide enabling environment that will promote low-cost housing for the vast majority of Nigerians. They came out with this position in Lagos on Thursday at the 2024 Annual Lecture and Awards of the Environment and Property Writers Association of Nigeria, Pwan, themed Resolving the Financial and Regulatory Dilemma in Achieving the Renewed Hope Agenda on Housing. The Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Ahmed Dangiwa, said Nigeria needs an average of 550,000 housing units annually for the next 10 years to solve her housing deficit, which has continued to grow with increasing population. Represented by the Director of Press and Public Relations in the ministry, the minister says the federal government was committed to providing the necessary regulatory framework that promotes affordable housing for the teeming population. The Managing Director of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, who was represented by Oladapo Fakeye, explained that motivation for new housing development will be driven by housing demands, which will promote the mortgage bankers to step in, just as Managing Director of United Property Development Company of Nigeria, Odunayo Ojo, says majority of Nigerians do not access to affordable housing, which is a necessity of human life. The chairman of Pwan, Okoyi Oriogbu Chikezie, hammered on the urgent need for government to focus on policies that will promote affordable housing for the low-income group.
Housing delivery, especially affordable housing, which we are in their need of Nigeria, requires huge financing. At the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, our estimates show that we will need to build 550,000 housing units annually to cope with increasing population and address the housing deficit in the country.
The motivation for new home development will be driven by housing demand. So if we need to build houses, people need to demand the house. And by extension, for people to demand the house, it's a factor of the available opportunities for mortgage financing, as in most societies, less than 5% of the population lack the financial capacity for house-for-cash transactions.
One of the issues is the challenge of what constitutes affordable housing and the problem with income levels and low income levels in particular in the issue of affordable housing. Then we talked about some of the challenges of affordable housing, including access to low-cost land, high construction costs, bureaucracy, and the issue of lack of alternative building materials, because a lot of our building construction materials are imported.
I want to advise government. There is need to encourage local content in the building materials. One, there is a need for government to ensure that all the materials for building are done locally, and there is need for the enabling environment. Engineers are designing every day. They are coming up with innovation. They are coming up with ideas to ensure that we produce and we manufacture in Nigeria. But the government must give us the enabling environment and encourage engineers and encourage manufacturers, encourage builders to be able to produce the materials that are used for buildings locally. Except we do that, we are going to continue to have the cost of materials for building very high, which makes the housing unaffordable for young people, average people, to be able to buy houses, constructed by government.
Looking at UK, they build their houses on wood. Looking at US also, they build their houses on wood. But we have been staying on brick. Even our colonial masters was able to appreciate wood construction, where most of the houses in the Koyi, their decking is made of wood. So we're looking at a lot of countries are looking into fiberglass right now in terms of construction. Must we do brick? By the time we go into fiberglass and other better innovative technologies, I'm sure that there will be affordable housing.
Governments and her agencies should make it possible, should come out with policies that will make it possible for Nigerians to own houses, especially the poor Nigerians, those who can't afford to go and buy a house off the shelf. Some Nigerians, they build house, just their house for 10 years, for 15 years.